Hey everybody, this is Clowntown, and today we're going to be doing another speedrun commentary, speedrun breakdown for Getting on Track Like a Pro for version 17.60 and greater for Factorio. Before we get started, please leave a comment, like, and subscribe. All the support links for me are down in the description below, including my Twitter, Patreon. You can catch me live most weekday nights and on the weekends at twitch.tv/Clowntown. That being said, today's run is going to be called Getting on Track Like a Pro. If you go to speedrun.com/Factorio, you see all of the speedruns available. We're going to be working with version 17.60 and greater. Today's speedrun is in the MISC section, Getting on Track Like a Pro. You go out here and see the leaderboard. Let's look at the rules. Basic rules is that the run ends by unlocking the Getting on Track Like a Pro achievement. And what that is putting down some rail and putting a locomotive on top of it. Only one player is allowed, free choice of map, so you can use as many coal rocks, no biters, none of that business. Importing blueprints is not allowed. One other thing to clear up, the time is taken in real time, not in-game time. So a really handy timer to use is called Live Split. A link to it is down in the description, and the timer starts on the first frame of the map and ends as soon as the achievement is displayed. Other standard things like no mods, no console commands, and submissions require a video. So let's get into it. All right, so here we go. We're going to be watching someone named Macros42. He's going for the record in Getting on Track Like a Pro. He does something very interesting here. He leaves his inventory up on the screen all the time. So this is really good. I have a habit as a Factorio player of opening and closing my inventory screen a lot. I don't leave it on the screen for several reasons, but for a short speed run like this is perfect. It's a really ingenious way to watch your inventory as well as grab stuff out of the crafting menu as well as your inventory really quickly. So he put in his first iron machine. He put in there he put in wood as the fuel, and then immediately went over to the coal rocks. And so his mission right now is to get 10 to 12 iron burner miners and stone furnaces up and running. See, he's put a couple ghosts on the screen. That's usually just measured as where he wants to put his iron line from off center, and it's a pretty common technique. You just use ghosts, blueprint ghosts to move it over. So yeah, he's going to go for 2 minutes here. He's got 10. That's a really good time. And you see one technique also that he's using is as he's putting these coal pieces in, he's not putting stacks or even half stacks in. He's putting singles. So he's dragging it up and down so that it's distributed evenly. And there's 12. So he's got 12 iron in under 3 minutes, which is really good. And he's got 4 coal and 2 copper. Extend it to 6 coal as those complete. Now, one good thing about these speed runs on just about any speed run, coal rocks are a really good thing to have on your map. Although you can't see them from how when you generate the preview of the map, they're invisible to the preview. So you don't know if you have them when you're just generating the map. You have to actually go into each map. I think there's a few mods that can find coal rocks for you, which evidently this one he did on this one. So now there's coal rocks all outskirts. I think on the outskirts, I think there's 4 right here. There's 2, 3, and there's a 4th one down and to the right. He's going to grab all of those. Each one of those coal rocks has 37 stone and 37 coal that you can put in. Now, one should note that this run, there is no stone on the ground. It's all found in the rock. So he's not going to use any stone. He's not going to use any miners to pull stone up, right? He's going to all get it from rocks or either standard rocks or the coal rocks. And if you can get it from coal rocks, it's even better because you get coal out of it. It takes like 2 extra hits that he's going to do. So he's got 24 now, 24 iron, and he's going to extend copper now to 10. But while he walks out there, you should note that while he's in this crafting queue, he's got he had science going. Anything that's long crafting, you can do that while you're walking out there. You're not placing anything. There's nothing to place down. So he's got a long trip to the corner of the map and back. So that's when you make your long cycle builds. Now he's just going to pull some stuff out of his way, get some wood for power poles as well as clear for his builds. So he's practiced this a lot because you can choose the map. Because you can choose the map, then you can do You could do all of these types of things in advance and work all the spacing out, etc. You can practice it over and over. So there you go. What you don't want to see is any of that red flashing. It means you're out of fuel. So he's gonna throw some extra fuel in there. So he's putting 1s and 2s and evenly distributing it. Now he's got power crafting in his handcraft queue. Now he's going to go 1. He's clearing some of the stone, but 2, he needs some extra stone because he's got another long line of iron to make. So he's going to bring to 36 iron in 8 minutes, which is really, really good. So he's got all that going. He's going to put down the lab. He's going to be late on his normal time for the lab. It's not going to matter. This is a really good run. So he's got a miner built. I'll show you what they do with the miners. Now, this is horrible efficiency-wise, but it's great for speed running. So right into the boiler, you hook up your water to one side, then you put a miner that feeds directly into it, and that just gets it to where you don't have to deal with hand feeding those boilers. You can just put a miner on there, and it'll just continually feed it as long as that it powers itself, and just make sure that that boiler is full. Now let's put the science up on the board. So here's his science path. He's got 10 automation that he's handcrafted. He's thrown that in the lab. Now he's going to go out and get some more stone and clear off for his builds out here. He's got some more stone. Drag the power up, and he's going to just keep everything running is the name of the game while he's building. And look how many he's building: 270 gears in his inventory, so that as soon as this automation hits, boom, he can hit the button and do assemblers. And look at that, he accidentally closed his handcraft queue, or he closed his inventory like I would normally do. Now he's got it centered up there. So now he's going to put down some intermediates. Now what we mean by intermediates is it's the in-between. It's not the product. It's the thing you need to make the product, right? So copper coils is number 1, as well as gears number 2. That's what can save you a ton of time. Now another speedrun technique is using red inserters. They actually execute faster. It's not only a 2-space, but they execute faster than a yellow inserter, and for not that much more material. They're a little awkward to handle at first, but once you get used to them, you can really get some good speed with them. So now he's going to make 2 red science makers and have a iron feed right into that. Put in two chests feeding them. This video is played at 2 times the speed, so I can make a quick commentary. But now the name of the game is build, but also at the same time make sure that your resources are always full. Now he's used a blueprint. Is not against the rules. Many people look at that and go, "Oh, we thought blueprints were against the rules." No, external blueprints are against the rules. If you make an assembly in the speed run and then copy it or blueprint it and paste it again, completely within the rules. It has to be a blueprint made in the run. It can't be one that's imported. And so the specific language in the rules is imported blueprints are prohibited. So he's got about half of those are stopped. So he's got to come back over here and make sure all of them are running. Keep them running is the name of the game. So otherwise he'll run out of resources and all these builds be for nothing. So now he's got 10 science makers, and they direct feed into labs, which is pretty good. So now he's on the 75 logistics science pack, and they consume very quickly at 5 per. That's why you need a bunch of science makers, because he's going to consume science way faster than he's going to be able to make it, at least at this stage. Same thing when you go to steel. Look how quickly steel is going now that all those red sciences are caught up. It's going to go pretty quick. It's going to shift, and it's going to slow down here in a minute because it's going to need logistics. It's going to go 15 seconds per red science. See how most of those labs were empty until we hit logistics. Now it's consuming slower than it's producing. So now that gives him a little bit of time. Now he's got green science. He can build those makers and extend green science. He's also got 12 green science. The green science that you need to build per, because of the ratio of how long it takes, is a 10 to 12 ratio or a 5 to 6 ratio. That is 5 reds to 6 green is the time it takes to make a green science versus a red. So it's quicker to make a red, therefore you need fewer assemblers. That's right. So he's got a little bit of cache, of a little bit of buffer stored up. And now this is a very interesting build. So he's gonna use these red inserters again. There's a very common speedrun technique. He's gonna feed the back of them, of these science machines. And he's got red inserters. Going to have the belt 2 gaps instead of a 1-gap belt. He's got 2 spaces in between the science machine and the belt, so the red inserters can feed. And then he's got 2 inserters feeding the other way, so that they can feed both sides of science. Very well done. Now he's got steel. He's going to have 3 steel makers just come straight off those iron lines. All that iron's going to get sucked up into steel very quickly. Now that steel has to be quickly made into engines. Now you can't handcraft engines. You have to put them into an assembler. So now he's going to make sure everything is on the line, make sure those boards are being fed, because the boards are pretty key to get turned into inserters. And those labs are going. He needs to make some more labs, because these last ones, 30 seconds apiece for Logistics 2, that means you're producing science faster than you can consume them, so then labs are actually required. So he's got another layer of labs that are going to feed that science in there. And remember, you can use labs as containers. So if you've never seen that before, string your labs together. If you do more than 5, it starts to break down, but this is a great technique, is put a lab next to a lab and have an inserter feed, and it feeds to the end and stops and consumes it. So you can use labs as storage containers for science and just string them together. That way you don't have a long, super long belt or the science, or a belt that snakes around through science. So you got Logistics 2, and then there's 200 of those. This is the longest part, so you save this for the end so that he has time to make all the engines he needs. And the engines that he needs, he's going to make some more labs. May as well, can't, because this is the long part of the run. The engines take a while each. He's got to start throwing those. Yeah, there he goes. He converted 2 of them. I didn't even see he did that. He converted 2 of them into engines and hand-fed all the stuff in there, all the ingredients, hand-fed the pipes and gears, and then the steel. And so he's probably just making engines in there as many as he needs. And he's closed his inventory, so I can't see how many engines he's got. But the number of engines you need for a locomotive is 30, I think. And then you need some extra steel for the rail, and you need some extra stone, not stone brick, but stone straight off the ground. You need that for rail as well. All right, keep everything moving, especially that steel. He's got coal, extra coal in his inventory. Maybe you should go throw that in once copper is stopped. Look, he's going to make a couple more science. He's going to throw that in because he's got some stone in his inventory. He's going to keep everything going. So he trimmed from 36 iron to 33, and those other ones are going to go straight into steel. And look here, he's making some of the steel rods, or iron rods for the rails. Now, railway is going to go pretty quick. There's only 75 needed after logistics, so still 30 seconds apiece. So now he's going to kind of wait right here probably. He's got one more trip, and then he's probably going to wait right here next to steel. He's already pulled up all the engines he needs. So those in his inventory. He's got 20 engines. Sorry, not 30, 20 to make the locomotive. And then as soon as that's gone, he has 10 boards. He's to make a bunch of rail, and then there's your locomotive. Boom, and there's time. Very well done. 24:25 is a great time for that. 24 minutes 25 seconds is current world record as this is being recorded. Well done. So he used reflexive coal. Never went to miners other than feeding the power, and he only really made 2 or 3 boilers. Didn't need that much power to run the assemblers in the labs. The labs being the big drain on power. Made just enough, and then current world record holder at 24.5 minutes. Very well done to Macros. So if you like this video and you want to see more of them, hit the like and subscribe button. Leave a comment down below if you have questions. All my support information is down below. If you like these videos, you can hit me up on Twitter. You can catch me live on twitch.tv/ClownTown. Links in the description. As well as if you want to join the OG Club, you can hit me up on Patreon. I write articles 1 a week. I take that job very seriously, like a journalism job. I write that 4 articles for the patrons only, and then the 5th article is public. You can go click my Patreon link and support me that way. Also, come by and say hi. Twitch.tv/ClownTown. If you like these videos, just come say hi. And if you have asking questions, I'll answer them live. And I'm a speedrunner myself, so you can sometimes you go to speedrun.com/Factorio, and you can see me up on the leaderboards. I do okay sometimes. I've had a couple records here and there, but there's lots of good talented players out there. So I would encourage you, if you haven't done any speedruns, to try your hand at it. It's very simple. All of the tools that you need to speedrun are down in the description. OBS as well as Live Split, and you can join us in the speedrun community. You can join me at twitch.tv/ClownTown and talk about speedrunning. You can join me in the speedrun.com forums, or you can hit me up on Discord if you have a question. Again, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.